We're Mindy and Paul, the Style Duo, and this is Duos and Don'ts with the Style Duo. We are here today, not in the Princeton studios. We're safe at home. We hope you, our viewers, are safe at home too. We've missed you guys. We've been thinking about you guys, and we're happy to be able to bring you some inspiring content today during these unprecedented times. We figured out a way to still be part of the Princeton family, and we are so happy to be here today saying to you guys, we hope you're safe and healthy, and just here we go with our really good episode.
That's right. So we're so excited to be here. You probably hear my dog barking. That's just the name of the game. But we have some of our favorite people here with us today, right? Part of the Bella magazine team. Let me introduce everybody one by one, and then we'll dive right in. Well, first of all, that's Kirby, my dog that you hear barking. So welcome, Kirby. And then we have Vanessa Lopez, our editor-in-chief, looking so beautiful in yellow like always. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. This is really exciting. Thank you.
Of course. And then we have Jennifer DeCillis, publisher of Bella. Hi, Jennifer. So great to see you.
Thank you.
And then we have our, of course, and then we have our two beautiful artists. So we have Jessica Licciardello, who's the creative director of Bella. Hi, Jessica.
Thanks for having us.
And welcome Emily Brickel Edelson, co-founder of Chic Sketch. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much.
You guys, I want to put out there that Bella team, we've been part of this team for a long time, but during these hard times, I think everybody should know that this has really been such a, I guess, support system for us. Bella Magazine has been continuing to have team meetings on Zoom, keeping everybody creative, doing creative, fun stuff, producing content for online. And we're going to talk about the beauty issue that they just put out. And it's really kept, I think, Mindy, I think you can agree with me, us very positive, upbeat, productive, and it really has kept us going during these crazy times.
Yeah, it keeps the creative juices flowing. I think that's been important to us. And, we've been talking to a lot of people. Everyone's kind of had to pivot or change their routines, their businesses, and it's good to have something to keep you busy on a routine. So we're very thankful.
Go Bella,
guys. Okay, so Vanessa, we're going to start with you. It's basically almost a year that you've been editor-in-chief of Bella Magazine, and God willing, we're going to celebrate you in August at the Bella White Party in the Hamptons.
I really hope so, because we need a party.
We need a party, definitely a party. So tell us just a little bit about the year, and then we'll dive right into the beauty issue and this crazy time.
Sure. The past year has been really interesting, and I mean interesting in the best possible way as far as when you're navigating business and taking on something new. Obviously I was a part of the Bella team before, I purchased it, and which made obviously all the sense in the world to continue to carry on like the torch, right? But interesting and challenging in a way that the vision for how I wanted the publication to continue to just be put out was very much of a team effort, and taking into account, everyone's perspective, because, our tagline is beauty defined by you. So at the same time, I wanted it to really showcase, the range of everyone's insight and everyone's concept of what beauty truly is. You've seen a dramatic change as far as inclusion and diversity is considered, just because it's not that it wasn't happening before, but it's such a huge part of our daily conversation that, it was very important, especially for me as a Latina woman, living in America, to showcase just a range of what women look like, from different ages, different sizes, different cultures. And I think that we've done a really great job at doing that. So it's been a minute. It's been a year, right? And now we're here in the middle of a world pandemic. And had you told me this last year in August, I would have probably been like, yeah, no, not interested. You know, I think it's just in my nature to just really, you know, take on very difficult things. So I think that, you know, obviously after the first 2 weeks of crises, right, that we had in the beginning, like the initial shock of it all, I think that, you know, I'm very humbled by what you guys are saying as far as, you know, that the team has really kept you guys going, but it's also been, you know, reciprocal. I have a sense of responsibility with all of you, and you keep me going. So that's what we do for each other. So, you know.
Right. I know.
I think, you know, our viewers should know that before we jump right into this beauty issue, typically we have a celebrity on the cover of Bella. We feature a celebrity on the cover, and then even a different celebrity sometimes in the magazine.
The inside, yes. We feature 2 celebrities, one for the cover, one for the inside feature, yes.
So it's typically a celebrity-driven magazine with celebrity events. Okay, so that's usually the Bella.
Right, and we've had some great covers this past year with you. We did a bunch of designers for the fall issue. Great designers we all know and love. Mel Robbins, we had Lala Anthony. We went to LA. We shot Marisol Nichols.
Nichols, yes.
Had so much fun styling her.
Vanessa Williams. Like, we've shot some really amazing people.
Exactly.
But come along, quarantine
2020. Quarantine 2020.
Where little by little, the plans of our next cover started to begin to shut down. So it was a moment of making difficult decisions in the sense that, you know, this is the expectation is that who is the next celebrity on our cover, because everything kind of each issue revolves around that. And also to that other end was, well, how do we really address what's happening to not just us, but to everyone in the world, and in a way where, as a media company and as a publication, we're not being tone deaf to what is currently happening. So in that sense, you know, it was a response to obviously doing the right thing, doing the ethical thing, and also putting something out that would honor the people who are literally keeping all of us going right now, which is not just our healthcare workers, it's also our mail carrier. It's like, that's my little treat of the day is getting the mail lately, you know? I can't go out, so the treats come to me, you know? It's the banker, it is the delivery guy who brings, you know, the pizza on Friday night so that I can get a break from cooking all week. So it's literally, you know, has tilted all of us on our heads, right? It's completely just turned everyone upside down. But it's been, I mean, as terrible as it seemed in the beginning, it's been really good for many other things as well. So, you know, I don't know if you want to jump into the concept right away of the cover. I mean, it just felt like a natural progression. I feel like everything happens for a reason. And this was our way to, you know, we obviously couldn't coordinate a photo shoot. We couldn't, send, because I even attempted to contact our photographer in LA. Like, that was like the last straw. I was like, okay, can you at least just go take the pictures from afar? Maybe we can make that happen. He was having none of that. And one Sunday morning, I was having one of those pity parties and I was crying. I literally was in tears, just trying to figure this all out. And it came to me, like, it's the words honor them just appeared to me. And then I thought of Jessica, who is an amazing artist. And I also thought of Emily, who we've worked with in the past. And in my head, I was like, okay, so how do we combine, because they're artistic and they're fabulous, but they all have their very particular craft, which is what I love. You could obviously, they have very significant differences between each other, but I love working together and in a community. And I knew that this cover would be of significance. I knew that it would be important. So looking to, again, to just for a response of what our next cover would be, I found this quote by Andrew Loomis that said that sketching is when you bring all the world's light into form. And I was like,
I love that.
hey man upstairs,
wow.
I got it. So immediately I put out, I reached out to Jennifer and I said, let's coordinate a meeting with the girls and let's make this happen. And on that call that we had I think that was like the end of my initial funk, because I was like in a funk up to that point. When I saw Emily and Jessica both had lipstick on, I was like, okay, I need to get I gotta get this together. I gotta get myself together. So from that moment on, it just completely shifted my own perspective about this crisis. Like it stopped being about me and like, oh, what was me and what's happening to, it started to be, okay, the focus now is on getting this message out, allowing these two amazing women come together, come up with this beautiful picture, which, can I hold it up now?
Yeah.
And, we had an hour-long conversation about what, throwing some ideas around, and each of them came up with their own part. Like they divided the workload, and I'll let them, jump right in and talk about that.
Yes, Jessica, so what was your first reaction? So Vanessa calls you, right?
Yeah. So of course it's, and Vanessa was describing it. It almost feels like suddenly a purpose was given to the gifts of the talents Emily and I have for art, and to be able to utilize them in a way during this to express an idea of what we were trying to honor, the people and the world. It just all felt right. And it strangely felt easy because I just felt like we were all in the same vision and on the same mission. And to collaborate was also, it elevated the entire project, because when you're working as an artist, sometimes you're working in your own mind, and when you have sort of other creative people and brilliant people to bounce the ideas off of and to contribute the hard work into this project, it really elevated it into someplace beautiful that even when I saw it all together for the first time, I was just amazed. So it was truly a gift and a way to honor what I can contribute as an artist. So
you know what, to your point, Jess, it's something that Mindy and I always say as part of, we're a duo, and we always say 2 heads are better than 1. And we always play off each other. And when we style somebody, it's like, it's not that we don't agree and they're getting 2 different viewpoints. They're getting kind of like a viewpoint, and then this brings up something else, and then this brings up something else, and it's kind of like a layered effect.
It builds it and balances it. So yeah, no, exactly. We love duos. Emily, how did you feel when you first heard about it? Did you think it was going to be like a huge task? Were you right on board right away?
I was so excited to be, I love the Bella family, and I was so honored to be considered to be part of this. When I heard Vanessa's vision, I was just like, this is so powerful. And I felt this immense responsibility to really bring it and to make other people feel inspired too, because that was really what I wanted to do. I wanted to put enough emotion and feeling into it, because you see there's all these people, and we wanted to represent every single person that Vanessa was speaking about. So I really hope, that did it justice, and it was amazing. Like everything just flowed together. And Vanessa talks about prayer. I always pray before I create any of my artwork, so that is infused in it. And just working with Jessica, it was amazing. It was just everything.
Can you guys, I don't know if our viewers can see, can we see a close-up of the cover and maybe talk about like little details of it that maybe you put in that are so meaningful to you?
Yeah, so there are 2 little Easter eggs hidden in this, because obviously everyone really represents people that we know. So the first one, I don't know if you guys can see this, is Vanessa's husband, the construction worker right here.
Yes.
And then also my sister is a chef, so that is my sister in the chef's coat. And yeah, we just added those little fun surprises in there.
Yeah,
Because
and
amazing.
oh, go ahead.
No, I really am blown away by the whole concept, all the details you guys put into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I want to hear what you have to say, Jessica, because it's so fun to hear about.
So for the world, I just wanted to point out a couple of little details. I included some things that people like in the community were participating in to sort of honor the first responders, as well as the support we're giving ourselves to get through this time. And there's been a movement for people to put rainbows on their windows and in a show of support and solidarity. So there's a rainbow included in here, as well as some music notes. And I felt like that was just the creative support that we're giving each other. That was initially inspired by, I would hear stories about in Italy, how people would sing from their balconies. So it just felt like a way to show like the lovingness that we're giving each other to support each other through this time. So I think that message with the actual representation of these frontline workers is so powerful because it really encompasses everything.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a collector's item.
Oh, 100%.
Right? 100%. And just to add to the details, just because it's really interesting. My husband thinks he has a say in things, but in actuality, when I was showing him the initial sketches, he kept saying, well, I don't see a construction worker there. I don't see a construction worker there. So to your point, Emily, I was like, okay, can you make it a construction worker? Because he's clearly doesn't feel seen. And and one of the last elements that I added was, if you see right here, there's a little boy and a little girl. And my little one has been just very impacted by all of this. He was very, very scared in the beginning because he didn't know like what was going on or what was going to happen. And I just wanted him to feel secure. And I wanted him to know that, we were all going to be okay. And the little girl, actually, I'm glad that Emily added it, because it reminded me, especially the way that her hair is laying, is of my niece in the Dominican Republic who has Down syndrome. And I felt that it was important to showcase that at the end of the day, our children are watching us, and how we take on this massive responsibility of healing our planet is how they in turn will do it in the future. Should they be, and God forbid, should they be struck with something like we have been, they're watching us all the time, and they're watching how we're reacting to all of this. So it was important to point out, that our kids are watching us. So that was really
God,
awesome.
I got chills. I mean, the first time I saw the cover, it gave me chills. It took my breath away the first time I saw it.
Me too.
And even now,
I'm a big crybaby, so I cry.
I know. Every time, but even now, like, I've seen the cover plenty of times, and we've talked plenty of times, and I feel like every time maybe something new kind of I see in it, or you say something that gives me chills all over again. Yeah, so I just got chills again.
Yeah, it's such a great job, you guys. Jennifer, maybe we could talk a little bit with you about some exciting things coming up. Obviously, there's a lot of unknown right now, but I think that we've all proven that Bella is strong and here to stay, and will conquer any challenges that come our way. But there are a few exciting things that maybe you can talk about.
There are, and you know what? I feel really lucky because obviously a lot of people are severely affected by this, and we've kept working and we've kept busy and positive. And besides, working from home, I haven't felt that much of a difference, just because we've been so great about, keeping all the work up. And I mean, I talk to Vanessa all day, every day, and we're in constant communication. And we've, luckily, thank goodness, had some really amazing things happen to us despite all of this. One super exciting thing that we can talk about now, finally, is that we are partnering with Lifestyle Today of WLNY, which is an affiliate station of CBS, which is so exciting, especially being a part of, the Bella TV team. I mean, that's one of the things that you strive for, right? You hear those words, that's huge. So we're so excited to have a segment coming out soon. It's going to be so amazing. And, you know, we're really blessed just to have all of these great things that are still coming our way, and we're still moving forward. And, you know, Vanessa's been getting, everyone loves to interview Vanessa, but she's been getting tons of publicity herself. And she has, you know, something also super exciting that's going on.
Let's hear Vanessa. What's going on?
Oh, Jennifer. I actually am very uncomfortable when it comes. I mean, I look like I got this, but I don't really. I have always said, you know, it's awesome for me, but I also want to always view it as it's awesome for the team. You know, this is not a solo project. I don't do this on my own. I just have the crazy ideas, and all of you just kind of like follow suit, which I'm kind of grateful for.
You're crazy. Crazy.
But there's a lot of it doesn't come without a lot of praying and a lot of crying sometimes, because you know I don't know all the answers, but you know, Bella Latina, so we can because that's really another exciting part of what's happening with Bella, is something that I had been wanting to do for years, because like I mentioned earlier, you know, as a Latina woman, there are just things culturally of living here in the States that I still continue to do differently, or put on my Latin flair, or in more of an important sense, I also feel like there are so many Latin men and women who are so talented in so many different aspects that are not receiving, you know, the features or the platforms that they deserve. And the response has been phenomenal. And even in the middle of this pandemic, I'm going to be part of Univision on an interview, which is when you mentioned Univision.
Awesome.
So
she like slipped it in there like it wasn't a big deal.
But Univision is, I mean, for the Latin American community, it's like, you know, the creme of the creme.
Yeah.
And it's but what that says to me, and should say to everyone, you know, that we're on the right path, that obviously we're doing something that is compelling enough to get people interested to talk about it and to talk to us. So, you know, again, it's always been a team effort. I'm just, you know, continuously just humbled and reminded that this team is a powerhouse all on its own. And I really am so grateful. I think that, you know, to have, I don't like to call it. I even tell Jennifer, don't call me boss. Like don't, and like not even because it doesn't feel natural. It's just like, you know, we're partners in all of this, and this cover itself could not be what it is and the impact that it's had so far if we all hadn't come together and made this what it is. I mean, when I heard the girls talking earlier, you know, their little elements here and there, like we talked about them briefly, but then to hear the reasoning behind them just makes it all the more special. And you know, it's just truly a labor of love, and everyone on the team just sprinkles their passion and their love for what they do and everything that is a part of Bella. And that's why, you know, almost 11 years later, we're still here. So
why don't we tell our viewers, like now, some viewers out there might want to subscribe to Bella.
Of course. You can always go to bellamag.co and just the tab that says subscribe. I mean, it's looking like we're going to keep printing. So we're going to be, you know, and you know, the thing is, there's a place for all different types of media in the world. And I personally, just along like our subscribers and our readers, obviously, and you know, are the select few that still enjoy curling up with a good book or curling up with a great magazine. I've been an avid magazine reader my entire life. I collect them. I keep them. I, you know, safeguard them because they're just so special. I think that Bella has, because we print only 6 times a year, not for anything, but each issue only gets better and better. Nod to Jessica, who really sits with every issue and really thinks about, you know, what the theme is, what the topic is, what we're addressing, and addresses it in such a creative way that every page, I mean, that's one of the things that one of the biggest compliments that I've ever gotten is just how everything flows, how, you know, when you're flipping through a magazine, you're not just seeing ad after ad after ad. It really feels very native and organic. Everything, every page is like connected to the other. We even make it a point to match the colors. Like we really are very, very careful and mindful of everything that goes into it. And it's just so much work done out of love. So I'm really proud of everything.
Your hard work and your dedication and your passion certainly shows, especially in this issue. So props to you, props to the whole team, and thanks to everybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Paula,
Yeah.
like let's do a tradition that we do on the show.
Yes.
Should we vote? Let's vote.
I don't have my, oh, it's fine. I don't even know if you can see it. This is like
Yes,
my
yes, yes. Oh my God.
version, but it says,
You get a double.
Yay, we got a duo.
You got a duo on Duos and Don'ts. Okay, so before we go, let's just give like one quick tip. We always give a fashion tip, and obviously times are different right now. We'll get back to fashion one day, and it's probably going to be different, right, Paula? I mean, I think fashion's going to change as we
yes,
move
and that's a
forward.
whole other episode, maybe.
That's a whole other episode
That's about the changes in fashion and all that. But before we go, some inspirational kind of maybe what you have gained in something positive during this time.
Okay, so
So
Vanessa, let's start with you.
maybe change or something that you're going to come out of this quarantine stronger.
I honestly, like, this is, it's going to sound obnoxious probably, because I just have always lived in this space of allowance. Like, it's just how I have dealt and coped my entire life. I try not to control outcomes. I try to not, you know, look to the future. And like, what if this has taught us anything is that we are not in control. So the sooner that we simply align with what is and allow things to flow, I think the easier, not only is it going to be the rest of the time that we have to deal with all of this, but also when we get back to things, because I 100% believe that we're not going to go back to normal. I think things are going to be really, really different after all of this is said and done. Because otherwise, what was the lesson in all of this?
There's
right?
a lesson here.
There is a divine intervention here.
Yeah. So I just have, you know, I had my pity party. I did my crises, but then I put on my big girl panties and, you know, make it a point every day to get dressed and face the day, because otherwise I'd be doing the hysterical laugh. Hysterical laugh in front of the mirror every single day. And, you know, and I refuse to go down without a fight in the sense that I loved myself, my family enough to at least have, you know, taking the lessons in strides. Like this has to, this will pass, as everything does. And I'd like to believe that if the one thing has been that I've been obedient and have followed, you know, the course.
Very
show.
Love it.
Love that. I love it.
Jennifer, how about you?
You know, I think this whole experience, I kind of sat with this the other day and I was thinking about it, kind of grounded or humbled me in a sense where, you know, I'm very blessed. I mean, I'm still working and, you know, I have a roof over my head and so many people don't have those things, but just little things that I, you know, in my everyday life, whether it's spending ridiculous amounts of money on a manicure, which I'm showing you my hands, that's a lot.
We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat, I think that.
Or, you know, going out to dinners and spending all this money and all of these, you know, luxuries really. And now I sit and I think like, do I really need to spend that money on my nails or that extra shopping trip? And I'm learning all these things that like you learn to live without, and like, you know, I'm okay. And I'm lucky and I'm just really humbled by all of it. And I hope that, you know, this all carries over when, you know, things are back to normal. And I just feel blessed for the things that I do have and realize that maybe some of the, you know, extras that I, you know, had in my life before weren't necessary.
No, I like that a lot. Emily, how about you?
Yeah, so I definitely agree with all these things you guys are saying. And also, the one thing that really stood out to me is that happiness is really an inside job, because before we relied on going out or going to events or shopping or, other people to make you happy and could impact your day. But really now, like, all that is outside of you. And no matter what happens, you are literally in your kind of own bubble, especially if you're self quarantining like I am. So happiness is something that I have to take control of, like wake up, say a prayer, meditate, work out, take care of my health, eat right, do all the things that I need to do, that make me feel good, and know that I have to rely on myself for my own happiness, for my own path, for what I'm accomplishing throughout the day. And really, there's no more excuses, like just putting it out there. And I can't, and knowing that right now we're not able to really rely on anyone else. And that, I think, is something that will carry through as well, because it gives you strength, and to know that no matter how bad the situation is outside, you really have yourself as a strong woman to make your life and change your destiny.
That's beautiful. I like
That's
that.
very empowering.
Yeah.
I love the sound of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jessica?
I feel in the same vein as Vanessa, Jennifer, and Emily. It's been a time to really look inside yourself and honor what you have to contribute to the world in your vision, in your ideas, all of these outside distractions. And sometimes I feel like it pulled us away from our true essence, everything pulling us. So it's a once in a lifetime moment to really reflect in what you have as a spirit, as a human, and realize that it does help people. And in this time where we can become strong in our individual selves, because we only have ourselves in this moment, we could then turn and really help others, because we all need each other. And even though we can't physically be with each other right now, it's almost more apparent than ever how much we need each other, and how much everyone playing their part in this is bringing us through this in a way that, we can't do it on our own. So there's this balance of honoring yourself and your spirit, giving your gifts to the world, and helping each other. And I think if we could all get that out of this, that would be an amazing place for us to be as a society and as the human race on the planet. So,
you guys, everything you're saying, I'm getting a little bit of, teary eyes and chills. And again, we are so blessed. Mindy and I really have you all in our lives. And I really do feel that each and every one of you have given something to me.
It's okay.
Or have said something, or, today, or in our weekly meetings, or just, this time that I feel when I exit quarantine, I have gained something from each and every one of you. So thank you.
I agree, Paula, but I'm going to throw in there, and I threw this in our Bella meeting the other day. I'm also very thankful for Paula.
Oh gosh, please.
Same about me. I know. We talk about working together as a team, and that's really why the cover came out so beautiful, because I think it is more powerful when you have two amazing talents working together, building each other up, working out the kinks. But Paul and I, we work together. We run around in a crazy world, running around the city. We live in our car practically, collecting clothes, delivering clothes, schlepping things back and forth. And it gets hard, and sometimes we put it on each other. And I think this quieter time has allowed us to appreciate the fact that we have someone to do that with. And I think, and I hope, going back into the real world, Paul and I can enjoy it more, rather than always be crazed about everything. Really, enjoy the small stuff. I think that's what we've all kind of learned now. But yeah, you guys, we could talk all day, because we love you, and we're so honored to be part of this amazing team. Vanessa, again, tell our viewers how they can subscribe to the magazine, because everyone needs a Bella in their hands.
Before I do that, I was gonna just throw in there, I keep sending Jen this meme that says unbothered.
That's my favorite one.
That's literally how I've been, like, the last month and a half. It's like, nothing phases me, nothing will and I'm like just fanning myself like unbothered by all of it. Because, yeah, I mean, like nothing could be worse than this pandemic right now. So like we're good.
We're good.
Thank you again so much for allowing us to just speak from our heart, because that's where Bella genuinely comes from. To get an issue, you can still go to shopbellamag.com. We actually just launched our new shop, and a portion of the proceeds from every sale goes to also our Staten Island University Hospital Emergency COVID-19 Fund. But the issue itself, which is also on sale there, is a donation also to the Staten Island University Hospital. So yeah, find us on social, bellamag.co. That's how we are everywhere. And thank you. I hope that you really enjoy it, because it's a really good one. Actually, it's a really good one.
Okay. Thank you guys so much. And as Paul and I always end our show, until next time, don't be a don't.
Do be a duo.